Right. Clive from compliance says we now need to have quarterly meetings about IT security and compliance. So, welcome to the first one. Great to have you all here. Right, first up, I want to talk about SharePoint backup. If our SharePoint site gets wiped, data's gone, kaput. What's our recovery plan?
Well, we could try and recover the files from the recycle bin.
Whoa. Jason, did you just say recycle bin?
Well, yeah, I mean, if no one's emptied it and maybe versions on, we might be able to get the files that way.
I can't believe this. I cannot believe it. I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but thank goodness for Clive. Is that seriously our backup strategy?
Excuse me, Fred, Jason. Look, just a suggestion, but we could try and use a proper Microsoft 365 backup solution.
See? That sounds more like it. Like what, Jonathan?
Maybe something like OpenText CloudAlly?
Well, from where I'm sat, it looks like Jason can do with all the allies he can get at the minute. Jonathan, can you show us this OpenText CloudAlly?
Well, actually, Fred, yes I can, because CloudAlly are today's Takeover Tuesday. I mean, Fred isn't wrong to worry, and neither is Clive from compliance, because when it comes to Microsoft 365, your data is your responsibility. Microsoft gives you uptime, service delivery, and those delightful error messages in Outlook. But point-in-time recovery, long-term retention, granular restore, no, it's not in the box. So if a user deletes a folder, gets hit by ransomware, or maybe just renames a folder something really helpful, like new folder, then you might be stuck. That is where CloudAlly comes in. They've been around since 2011. They were one of the first companies in the software as a service backup space. And today, they're backing up Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, even public folders, with encrypted, immutable snapshots stored in your choice of AWS data centers around the world. So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how CloudAlly works, what makes it different, and why I think it's a solid choice, whether you're a busy MSP or an overworked internal IT admin. With all these tabs open and a user on the line saying, "Everything's gone." To begin with, let me show you how easy it is to get your Microsoft 365 fully backed up. I'm going to set up a backup for my test tenancy. Let's go. So to begin with, let me show you how easy it is to get your Microsoft 365 fully backed up. What I'm going to do is set a backup for my test Microsoft 365 tenancy. So here I am at cloudally.com and I simply click on try free, okay? What you get with CloudAlly is a free 14-day trial. All I need to do is fill out this form, starting with the first name, then the surname, and then the email address. I can type a password, just confirm that, and then I've got to choose a data center. So where do I want my backups to be stored? CloudAlly stores its data in AWS, and as you can see here, we've got AWS options in the US, the UK, EU, Canada, Asia, and more. So your data's always staying close to where your business is, and as I've mentioned, always compliant. I'm going to choose UK, London, and then I'll click on Submit. Okay, I should have an email from CloudAlly. Okay, let me pop over to my email, which is here, and I've got an email from CloudAlly. All I need to do is activate my account. Now I can sign in. And here is the main CloudAlly backup page. Now, once we're in, you can see that the dashboard splits Microsoft 365 into 4 different services. We've got Exchange, OneDrive, SharePoint, and Teams. So if you want, you can just back up one of these services, or you can back up them all. You've got no blobs, no guesswork. You can simply manage each service independently. Let's start with Microsoft Exchange. I will click on there. And then I'm going to give my Exchange backup a name. Hawthorne Bell Exchange Backup. click on Authenticate, and it'll take me to this screen here. So we'll need to sign in with some kind of global admin or dedicated service account. That account essentially lets CloudAlly discover and protect our users. So I'll click on here, enter my global admin account, click on Next, enter the password, and click on Sign In. Our permissions here, so check through all those, make sure you're happy with them, and click on Accept. Okay, back into here, you can see Exchange is connected, and you can see that CloudAlly has automatically discovered all users in our tenant, and these include licensed users, unlicensed users, any shared mailbox, or archived accounts. Okay, you can see that the status of the backup is not active. Now, if I just click on this little settings cog here, it gives us some more options. So we want to back up licensed account, because the smart part about CloudAlly is billing is based on actual usage. So monthly plans charge per active user. Annual plans will give you a 25% buffer. So for example, if you spike from 100 users to 125 users, you're still going to be covered. And as I've mentioned, these archived users don't count towards billing, but their data is still fully recoverable. Okay, we've got an option here to retain auto archive backups. So as you can see, backups will be archived when a license is removed or a site is deleted. And you can enter the days to retain those backups. And if you leave it unchecked, the data will be there indefinitely. Okay, this option here, look, automatically activate new mailboxes. You don't want to have to remember for one of your techs to have to go in and enable a backup when they create a new user. Over here, the data center is as we've discussed, it's London. And then we've got the backup frequency. Okay, so we've got daily, we've got every 3 days, we've got weekly, we've got 3 times a day. And we can choose an hour that we want the backup to happen, different times during the day. Okay, so there's some really good options there. Okay, now it's time to activate our backups. So I will select here, which will select all my users. I can go to Action and I can click on Activate. 5 out of the chosen 5 will be activated. So let's activate those now. And those backups now have gone to schedule. So what I'm going to do is highlight all these again, and I'm going to click on Backup Now. Okay, so we can get a backup moving. So I'll do that now, click on Confirm. And that backup has been scheduled to run. Okay, so that just took a couple of minutes. These backups have now completed. The other 2 that were here have disappeared because they've got no data in them. Okay, they were just kind of test accounts that I spun up. So after just a few minutes, we've now got proper protection in place for the Exchange in our Microsoft 365. So your CEO has just deleted their inbox again. Or maybe you've had a ransomware incident. It's time to restore data. Or maybe someone just wants to retrieve a single email. Well, it's all possible with CloudAlly. Let's take a look. Okay, let's talk about the all-important recovery. So we know CloudAlly can back up our Exchange, but how do we get it recovered? Well, you've got lots of options. So here's my backup here. It says it's succeeded. We've got a bit of information here, but I've also got this recovery tab. So let me click on here now, and then it'll choose all of my mailboxes. So let's choose Charles Bell and click on Next. Now we've got a few options, and I'm going to go through these options now. We've got a full mailbox restore, which brings everything back from a previous snapshot. Or we've got a selective restore, which is just restoring just what we need. So maybe individual emails and things like that. First, let's go on to recovery options. We've got export. So as it says here, we're exporting the data from the backup in a PST file. Okay, click on Next. We can choose our last backup, or we can search for a specific backup. I will leave it as this. Click on Next. And then we've got the services within Exchange. So are we exporting all the emails, all the contacts, tasks, calendar, or everything? Okay, you can see I've got a little tab here that gives me some more options. I can choose to export legal holds. I can choose to export deleted items. And then if the mailbox is a large one, I can also use 20 gigabyte chunks for PST files instead of 5, okay? We can then export in a zip format, so just for download, or we can put it into any of these platforms here. So that's nice and straightforward. Just go back a couple of options again. Let's choose the restore method now, okay? We'll just get a few more options here. This screen is the same. Click on next. And then this section is the same as well, but I've got some more options here. So I can restore this to the original account, okay? So in this case, I'm restoring data from Charles Bell to Charles Bell's mailbox. Nice and straightforward. Or I can restore it to another account, okay? So it might be a shared mailbox. It could be a public folder, okay? We can have that option there. But then I've got some restore types here. These are different flavors of restore. If I click on the drop down, you can see I've got 3. So firstly, the non-destructive, that creates a new folder in the mailbox. So nothing is overwritten. Everything is safe and tidy. The next one is a replaced restore. This restores items directly to their original folders. So this is perfect for corruption or rollback, okay? And then we've got bypass restore. So that skips existing items and it only restores what is missing, okay? So that's a very polite, very efficient restore. So I would choose one of these. I would click on next and away I would go. I would restore it. So that's one way of doing it. Go back again. Charles Bell, click on next. I've also got the selective mailbox recovery, okay? This will load Charles Bell's mailbox from the last backup. You can see I can click on different backups there. If I go into the inbox, for example, I can see copies of Charles' mailbox. So we might want to restore this one here. I can simply click on restore and I get the same options here. Non-destructive, replace, or bypass, okay? So we're just restoring what we want without the stress. And there's another handy feature in CloudAlly. For Exchange, you can enable self-service recovery. This means that users can restore their own emails without raising a ticket or chasing the IT department. I know we've got several MSP clients who love those kind of features. So that is Exchange restoration. Now, we all know what happens with OneDrive and SharePoint. Folders multiply, documents vanish, and people rename folders. Or maybe, as in our earlier sketch, your entire SharePoint library has gone. Don't worry, we can address all of these scenarios using CloudAlly. Let's take a look. Okay, let's talk about OneDrive and SharePoint. First of all, let's get a backup going for these two. So we go up here, add backup task. First, we'll go onto OneDrive. We'll give this a name. Hawthorne Bell, OneDrive, click on Authenticate, choose our admin account. Okay, we've got some more permissions here. Make sure you're happy with all those and click on Accept. Okay, so again, we've got some backup settings. We've got automatically activate new sites, so we don't have to come in here and add new users. And again, we've got the retain auto archive backups. We've got backup frequencies, we've got backup hours. Okay, we're used to that with the Exchange. Come down here, select all these, click on action, and we'll activate these backups, okay? Those have been activated, and now I'm going to go in here, action, I want to back these up right away. Click on confirm, and those will start to be backed up. While that is working, let's go back here. You see that's happening. Click on add backup task. This time let's focus on SharePoint. Give this a name. Hawthorne Bell SharePoint. Authenticate. Admin access. Okay, so this is becoming very familiar, okay? Same kind of settings. We've got a couple of sites here. Not sure there's actually any data in these because it's a test tenancy, but we will activate the backups. Click on activate. And then we will also back up now. Click on confirm, and we will wait till those backups have completed. Okay, so we now have Hawthorne Bell SharePoint, Hawthorne Bell OneDrive, both succeeded, okay? Some more stats over here, we're in a good spot. Let's now look into the recovery. So these are all the OneDrive accounts. I'm interested in Charles Bell. So I can go over to here. I can go to Action. So there's two ways that we can restore OneDrive data. We can do it via the snapshot, so via the backup, or what we can do is we can do it via item search. So we can search by keyword, author, date range, and we can find exactly the file, the folder that we're looking for. Okay, let's look at the snapshot. Go into here. Let's look at some backups. So the date range, 17th to today's date, the 19th, and we can click on continue. That will bring up all the OneDrive backups for Charles Bell. Okay, what I can do then, I can drill into here, and what we will see is a full mirror of the OneDrive for Charles Bell at this point in time. So what we can do, we can drill into folders, and then we've got two options to restore data. So I can just select these if I want to. I can restore it or I can download it. So hopefully downloading is fairly self-explanatory. If I go into the restoration, again, we've got a few options, okay? We've got replace, bypass, and duplicate. So replace means we are overwriting the file at the original location. Bypass, we're restoring any missing files, okay? But we might bypass what's there already. And then duplicate, it's going to add a restored file alongside existing ones, possibly with a timestamp in the name, okay? We can also restore to another tenant and perform a cross-site recovery, okay? So that is also an option. Now, when it comes to SharePoint, it's pretty much the same, okay? So I don't have a lot of data in these, but again, you'll recognize when I click into here, we've got snapshots, we've got item searches, and it's exactly the same format. So I click on 17th, I click on 19th, click on continue, and we've got SharePoint, and we can browse the files, we can do what we need to do. So it's granular, it's fast, it's flexible. So there's OneDrive and SharePoint, it just works. Microsoft Teams, where every channel has a conversation, a folder, and lots of people asking, where's that file gone? Don't worry, because CloudAlly has you covered. Let me show you. Okay, so the backup task we are missing here is, of course, Microsoft Teams. So we click on there, Microsoft Teams, give it a backup name, authenticate, choose our global admin. And by now, you should recognize this screen. Okay, we've got a few options here, backup frequency, backup times. Well, I can go in here, I can activate the backup, click on activate, and that has activated the backup, okay? Automatically activate new groups, teams, that's something you'll probably want to do. Again, just to fast forward, I will, rather than wait for the scheduled, I will click on backup now, okay? And what I will do, I will come back to this video when we have a backup. Okay, our Teams has now backed up. So, as with the previous functions in Microsoft 365, we can go to recovery. Now, again, this is just a test tenancy, but you can see what groups and what teams I have here. So, if I just go into Hawthorne Bell, you will recognize this from OneDrive and SharePoint. So, we can restore via a snapshot, or we can use the search function. I will click in the date here. Let's have a look at our backup. Go into there, continue. And here are our backups, okay? Now, CloudAlly backs up 5 key parts of a Microsoft 365 group or team. You've got site collections, you've got channel metadata, you've got calendars, conversations, and you've got files and document libraries. So, just like OneDrive and SharePoint, if I go into here, there might not be much data to go at. Click on Restore. Just like with OneDrive and SharePoint, you can restore to the same location, to another user or team. We've got our replace, bypass, duplicate, restore options. We can download everything as a PST or a zip file. You can even restore or export conversation history with Teams, okay, which is ideal for maybe HR or legal. One thing to note with Teams backup and restoration, private one-to-one chats aren't backed up, okay? Microsoft just doesn't allow it, so no vendor can do that. But all your shared content, your calendar data, your metadata and group chat is all covered. So as you can see, CloudAlly makes restoring Microsoft 365 group data quick and straightforward. Now, you might be watching this video thinking, hang on a sec, I'm an MSP. This CloudAlly solution doesn't look like it's multi-tenant. Well, you will be wrong, because it is. Let me show you. Okay, this is the CloudAlly partner portal. And what it gives you is a single view of all your customers if you're an MSP. So you can see the trial status at the top here. We can see the backup status. We can see all our customers all in one place. Now, to create a new tenant, you simply click on Add New Account. You enter a name, again, the region, so you can store different customers in different data centers. A contact email, and what you can do, you can start them on a trial, so they get free 14 days. You can activate them immediately, or even a trial and then auto-subscribe. Now, once you do that, each customer, so if I just open a customer here, this will take us to the familiar CloudAlly screen. So each customer gets a clean, branded interface, and they won't see your pricing or your licensing. So you basically stay in control of the relationship as an MSP. CloudAlly uses dynamic licensing, okay? So you only build for what is in use. There's monthly billing, which is usage-based, so you're only paying for active users. You've got annual plans, and these annual plans come with a 25% buffer, okay? So you're protected against small fluctuations. And I've said it already, but archive users don't count, but their data stays recoverable, okay? So if you're managing multiple Microsoft 365 environments, CloudAlly gives you the visibility and control that you need. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video all about OpenText CloudAlly. If you want to find more information, I've put a link below this video. I look forward to seeing you again soon.